Hello, and welcome back to TOPiAN Magazine for issue 5, Soul Food with Slim. This issue is going to be about soul purpose with a thread of spirituality, numerology. Slim is somebody who I've known since high school, but we got really close in college. So to this day, Slim is just one of those friends who I don't gotta talk to or see for months, and as soon as we see each other again, we back kicking it like no time has passed. Slim is a really influential person in my life. She's one of the main people in my life who got me to understand like astrology, numerology, spirituality. And that's just something she's really passionate about. She's really helped me expand my mind in those areas. And I just felt like at this time in my life, I was going through a lot of change. I left my corporate job at the beginning of May. And, obviously a big part of that was me just realizing my own soul purpose and me stepping into alignment with what I feel like God, the universe, has felt was necessary for me in my development as a person, as an artist, etc. So yeah, we have a great conversation. I did travel to the A to see Slim, so this was my first time in Atlanta and my first time traveling for the magazine. So that was a really cool experience. But yeah, I was happy to be able to get out there finally. We had a great discussion, and I learned a lot about Slim that I didn't even know yet, even with being as close as we are. But yeah, Slim is a Scorpio, just as I am, so I feel like you never know everything about a Scorpio. But yeah, so that's that. And yeah, that's it, that's all. Without further ado, this is issue 5, Soul Food with Slim. So, where are we at?
We in the A.
All the way in the A!
My dog came out all the way. Alright, go.
Came to the A, had to, first time ever, being in Atlanta, because I had to have you on for the next issue of the magazine. Yeah. Issue 5.
Cinco.
Issue 5, Soul Food, featuring Slim. So Slim and me, obviously, we've been homies for over 10 years. We known each other since high school, really got close in college. But yeah, with the magazine, I try to really, every issue is based on how I'm feeling in that time of my life. And as you know, I'm out of my weak ass 9 to 5 now. So love that. I've just been heavy into soul purpose, which is also obviously like why this issue is called Soul Food, because you are somebody who I feel like you're like the one person in my life who's, well, not the one person, I don't want to disrespect anybody else in my life, but you are one of the main people in my life who is very into like purpose, spirituality, shit, numerology. You taught me more about that than anybody. So I just felt like you were the perfect feature for it. And yeah, this portion of the interview, or this portion of the magazine, is called Over Coffee. You want to shout out where we got the coffee from?
Oh yeah. Atlanta's own black coffee. You know what I'm saying?
Period. It's very good. I got matcha. I got it iced, so it's a little. We struggling over here, but it's still fire.
Good vanilla caramel macchiato, something slight.
Period. So yeah, I feel like you being on the magazine was overdue. It was only a matter of time. It was really just logistics, bro. It was really just logistics, because every time you're in Pittsburgh, it's either too far from from an issue coming out, or like the issue just came out and like it just was all bad.
For that.
But yeah, so without further ado, you want to introduce yourself and kind of tell us who you are and how you got here?
Well, I'm Slim Sosa, you know what I'm saying? Originally from Pittsburgh, Braddock to be exact. But man, I moved to the A about 6 years ago, man, and I love it here. I ain't gonna lie, I love it here. Like,
I saw a tweet that was like, my first time landing at Atlanta airport, I was like, oh, y'all are in the middle of the woods. Is that accurate? That Atlanta's in the middle of the woods?
Yeah, but it's not at the same time. Like, it's like Atlanta is its own little
they
city.
They put a crazy aerial shot up, I'm not gonna lie.
It is in the woods,
but
it's still the city though.
Yeah, but like the picture they put up, bro, it literally was a city, skyscrapers, woods everywhere. I was like, damn, it really is the South for real. Like,
because if you get up north, man, yeah, it's a whole different situation.
Yeah.
There's a difference between Atlanta and Georgia.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, it's kind of, I mean, I know it's not like Pittsburgh, but you know Pittsburgh, like they call everything between Pittsburgh and Philly, Pennsylvania. Like,
yeah, facts.
It's just like,
just straight up Hickeyville.
You might run into somebody who might not let you see the light of day.
No, for real.
In some overalls or some shit with a fucking pitchfork, like on fire, like, yeah. Well, yeah. So before we get into your journey to Atlanta and stuff, why don't we talk about like your childhood, your upbringing, kind of.
For sure.
What happened when Slim got into the world?
You know, I'm born 11/11/94.
Period.
You feel me? Mercy Hospital. But you know, I was adopted at birth. I was adopted by my grandfather and his wife, which I always called my grandfather my dad and his wife my mom, because that's the only mom and dad I really ever knew until I was a little older. You know what I'm saying? And but so my biological mom is my grandfather's daughter.
Okay. So
like that's how he took and my biological mom, she struggled with addiction my whole life. So that was the reason why they decided to adopt me. It was forced, but it was necessary at the time.
Yeah.
And so yeah, man, like I got picked up from the hospital. You feel me? Crazy enough, like my mom, not my biological mom, but I'm gonna just say Mom Mary, for my adopted mom, and like my biological mom is Dover.
Okay.
But she told me, like, when I was first born, like I was in foster care for a little bit. I obviously wasn't old enough to remember, but I was in foster care for like a short amount of time before they got me back. And then that's when we moved to Parker Avenue, Braddock. And then, that was, I'm not sure what was first, but I remember my grandma's house. I was living in my grandma's house, and right next door was a big yellow house with like 12 bedrooms. And that's where my mom and dad ended up starting their foster home.
Okay.
And so like from like the ages, like from when I was born to like maybe like 3 or 4, I lived in that foster home with, many kids. I still remember some of them, and my mom found, my mom found all of them homes and decided to adopt me, adopt my sister, Farron, adopt my older brother, Alan, and then also my sister cousin Teresa, but she my sister, like, for real, like, she my cousin, but she my sister, like, she my sister first, though, but, yeah, so, like, we grew up together, and, like, my older brothers, Junior and Speedy, they was older, they already moved out, whatever, and stuff like that, and really had their own life, but, like, I really grew up with them, and, we moved around a lot, man, I'm not gonna lie, like, we moved, when I was 4, we moved to North Carolina, where my mom was originally from. My adopted mom, Mom Mary, she was originally from North Carolina. We moved back there to her hometown. And that's when I really, like, started like getting into like my core personality traits and stuff. Like I was always a tomboy. Like I always was playing with the boys, you know what I'm saying, playing football, playing basketball, always getting dirty, jumping on the trampoline. Like I was outside. Like I was at a bike, you know what I'm saying? Like never owned a baby doll ever. Like no, for real.
That's
like,
crazy because even I owned like Bratz dolls.
Never, bro. I never had any. I look in the store, I did not want that. I wanted little cap guns and Nerf guns and toy soldiers and shit like that, like video games. Like,
yeah.
You know, and yeah, so like, and I always used to play with my brothers. Like, I never played with my sisters until like I got a little older. You know, but yeah, like I feel like I moved from North Carolina at like maybe it was like maybe 8, because I remember it being like 4th grade, because I came back to Ben Fairless in 5th grade. Because I remember like Mr. Hart, Miss Furby.
What school district is that?
That's Woodland Hill School District.
Okay, that's why I didn't know. Like you, Ben Fairless. I never.
So moved there. Then you know that's when I started playing I started playing basketball in 6th grade.
Okay.
So that's when I started hooping. When Ben Fairless, I started playing for their little league and shit. And yeah, from then on, like, you know, that's when I just went on to like middle school and shit like that. And yeah, like I just started really becoming, I started like, you know, I feel like in North Carolina I started like listening to rap and like, you know, extra CDs for Christmas. And then like when I got to Pittsburgh, I really started to implement that culture and stuff like that, because I also, like, I seen it. Like, you know, I grew up in the hood. You feel me? I was only gone for a couple of years. Right. But, like, when it came back to Braddock, I stayed in Braddock for a little minute. Like, we moved to East Pittsburgh for, like, maybe 2-3 years. But, like, I was in Braddock majority of my life. So
can I... I have a question. I have 2 questions. One, how long did you stay in North Carolina again?
It was from, like, ages 4 to, like, maybe, like, 8 or 9.
Okay, so that's literally like half your life at that point.
Yeah.
Like half your life was in North Carolina, half your life was here. Okay, another question I had. Your dad, like your biological father in this situation, like where, I don't feel like we've had that conversation.
So my biological dad, how crazy, I look just like him. But his name is Ricky Dutrow. Yeah.
That's a hard ass name.
Yeah, I always wanted his last name.
Dutrow was hard.
It's a bitch.
No, but yours is hyphenated. Like,
yeah,
that's
that is hard too, though.
I swear, it just gives like athlete. Like,
yo, facts. But yeah, he see my dad, like you know, I never knew him to struggle with drugs. I only knew him to struggle with alcohol. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But like I knew he struggled with that majority of my life. Probably most likely still is struggling. I don't know. I can't speak, but he was, I mean, I probably, like, I haven't seen my dad much in my lifetime, you know, but when I do see him, it's all love. Like, he'll hug me, he'll tell me he loves me, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes, you know, I realize that, like, you know, parents, it don't mean they don't love you, because sometimes they don't know how to love you at the capacity that you need them to.
Yeah. And
sometimes they know that.
Right. You
know what I'm saying? And they choose to be absent for that reason. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because I never could hate my parents. Right. Because I understood them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a primal, like, natural thing. You know?
Yeah. So it's like I never could hate them. Just for a long time I didn't understand. But once I grasped the understanding, it was more so of it was more so like, damn, like, I wish I was an older version of myself to help you when you needed help.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy as you age. I feel like your late 20s really, like, that's like the phase of your life where you start understanding your parents. And you be like, fuck, I wanted to not like y'all so bad for all, not like y'all, but you know, like, you want to be mad at your parents, you want to resent them for different things, no matter how good your parents are, you know, like, like, I feel like, you know, on paper I grew up with great parents, you know, both in the house, both very present, you know, my parents, you know, according to America, it's a textbook family, like, they're still together, you know, whatever, but, you know, I feel like anybody has different things that, you know, they struggle with their parents growing up.
And me having several sets of parents.
Yeah.
Like, I have trauma from all of them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not in the way that people think it is. It's just in, like, you know, it just comes in different ways in my personality and how I react to things and certain things that I had to work on, and I'm realizing, like, oh shit. Yeah, so like I'm just learning how all of that like correlates to who I am today, and like what the things I need to work on, and like I'm still figuring a lot of stuff out. But like I've come to a point where I'm like, you know, I know myself enough in this stage of my life. You know what I'm saying, to be sure of who I am. You know?
Right. You know, I did want to ask you, like, how do you feel like, you know, your parents struggling with their vices like affected you as a kid and as an adult? Like, how do you feel like that affected you as a person? Which I know is like a loaded question, but
no, like, cause it's not even just like I seen addiction with my parents. A lot of my family members struggle with addiction, so I seen it firsthand a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it just, cause you know, there's two ways you can go about it. You can see stuff and repeat, or you can see stuff and be like, okay, this is what I shouldn't be doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I took it like, okay, I don't want to, like, I've gotten so many examples of what happens that I know now that, like, that's not the road that I want to go down. So, like, and I also feel like, you know, my parents, like, you know, they made sure that, like, I lived in the hood, but I wasn't immersed in it. You feel me? Like, we had, like, my mom used to take care of the niggas in the hood, though. Like, you know, like, if the cops used to run around and mess with them, like, she'll tell them all to get on their porch. And, you know what I'm saying? We were still hood babies, but, like, I feel like sports is really what got me. They put me in sports and I couldn't be in the streets. Yeah. Because I was in the court. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, so that was another question I had for you. Like, I know it's hard to put this into, like, one word or, like, one explanation, but, like, how do you feel like basketball, like, impacted you? You know how people be like, oh, basketball saved my life. Like, do you think that applies to you?
I think basketball showed me more about myself than saved my life. Like, I feel like it showed me that I'm capable of overcoming anything, because I was trash.
Basketball?
Bro,
I was the trashest. I never played.
No, I'm serious. Like, I wish there was a documentary of how I came up in basketball, because, bro, I was terrible. Like, no, like, I used to play for this hoop squad called Hot Shots. It was all white girls. All Penn Trafford white girls who could shoot they lights out.
Because they had the fucking training.
Exactly. But, like, bro, I'm from the hood. Like, I didn't really know how to get with the organized shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was terrible, bro. I barely got any playing time, and my mom and dad was paying for this AAU shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I took that to heart, that I wasn't good and y'all paying for this shit. So, like, bro, I busted my ass. Yeah. I busted my ass. Summers, like, just going in the playground court and just, like, the Salvation Army and shit like that, and doing the little Turtle Creek leagues and shit in between. Like, bruh, I came back cooking them white bitches. I came back cooking them bitches. They didn't even know who the fuck I was. They like, who is this person? Yeah, I came back cooking.
Yeah, facts.
But I feel like that showed, and that's just one of the reasons I kept going, because it proved to myself, like, I can do anything if I just keep going at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I was trash. Right. Do you feel me?
Yeah. So do you think, and a lot of these are going to feel like loaded questions, but, you know, it's a deep magazine, so, you know, whatever. But do you feel like, you said something interesting. You said, you know, I took me not being good at basketball to heart because my parents were paying for it. Do you feel like, how am I thinking? Like, I'm trying to get the phrasing correct of what I'm trying to ask. Do you feel like, because of the role that your parents played in your life, do you, and the responsibility they took on, I guess, raising, you know, you and other foster kids, like, do you feel like you felt like I don't want to say like indebted to them, because it's not.
You know, it's so crazy because I recently unpacked this, but yeah.
Like, was that a trauma
for you? Yes, it was a trauma for me, just because I never wanted to upset them. Yeah. I never wanted to, because, like, I was bad, but behind, like, I never let them see that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would do bad shit, like do drugs and fucking broke. Like I'm fucking bitch. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And they think I'm just like, because my grades was good.
Yeah.
And I made sure that I showed up on that court and did business. Like, you know what I'm saying? So in their eyes, my grades are good, and she's good at sports.
Yeah.
She's getting scholarship offers. Then she's like, and their eyes are old school, so they like, you doing everything right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But low key, like, I would struggle emotionally. I would struggle in different areas that I felt like I couldn't really connect with them with because I was constantly not trying to disappoint them.
Yeah,
because I feel like they gave up their whole life, for me. Like,
well, that like me, like I was saying, like me being a child of social workers, like I feel like I grew up very observant because I observed so many different kids between my parents being social workers and driving kids back and forth, and my grandma being a foster parent. Like I feel like I grew very like observant of, you know, people's like who people are when they're deeply comfortable with themselves. You know, and also like as a kid, like you're deeply comfortable with yourself because. Just in the way that you act. Like, you can't really put on a facade as a kid, I feel like, in the way that adults can. So, you know, I feel like I saw, like, that's a common thing with, like, adopted kids or foster kids where, you know, it's like, you want things things are stable for you, and you want them to stay stable, and you don't want to do anything to, like, basically mess it up. Because it's survival mode, really.
Yeah, it is. And then, you know, it's so crazy because it really did feel like that. But, like, they were fantastic parents, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like emotionally, they just lack that emotional connection.
I think that's also a generational thing too. I was talking about this even with like my parents and people in their generation. You know, my parents are both in their mid to late 50s, and you know, me and you know my friends and my sisters talk about how we struggle with, you know, we felt like our parents were emotionally, you know, not as present as we would have liked them to be. But I always try to say, like, as absent as we felt like they were emotionally for us, imagine how their parents were to them. Because if they were emotionally,
a whole other generation,
bro. Yeah. If we feel like our parents were emotionally absent for us, their parents were emotionally, literally not even living, not even existing. Like, so, you know. But I think that you have like your parents are older. They're basically our grandparents' age. Yeah. So, you know, I'm sure that was even harder for you.
Yeah, it was, because it was like I couldn't really express things the way I wanted to express them just because of like the lack of understanding of what I go through at this time in my life. Right. You know what I'm saying? And the age I'm at and where we're at right now in the world. And, right. You know what I'm saying? It just was like it was just a disconnect, you know, but ultimately, like, they did everything they could do to support my dreams, to support anything that I wanted to do. I feel like my Virgo mama, like, you know, Virgos are very service oriented, and I feel like just taking on that, being my mom, she took that very seriously, and she did it's gonna be.
Yeah, I want to get into your parents a little more. But before we do that, I did want to ask, so at this point in your life, we kind of got to you being in middle school and starting basketball. Yeah. When did a whole lot of gay shit start? Okay, like, what?
I would say I came out in 8th grade.
Wow, to your parents?
No, my coming out story is actually.
So like, walk me through your gay journey, basically, like your self-discovery journey.
So my self-discovery, like, I feel like, I always kind of like knew I was different. You know, I always looked at boys as brothers and like my homeboys. Like, I never like was like really attracted to boys, even as a kid. Like, it was weird. Like, you know, there would be like some boys that would crush on me, and you know what I'm saying. And like my cousin would be like, "No, go take a walk with him," and I might go take a walk with him. But it was like I never was like, "Ooh, like get the fuck away from me," you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I started having like crushes and stuff, you know what I'm saying, at a young age. But then I started acting on them in like 8th grade. And then like I remember my first celebrity crush, like dead ass, like was head over heels, Hoops.
Bro, from Flavor of Love.
That was my bitch. In my eyes, we went together.
Bro, in my eyes, we were married.
To be
3 kids.
The fuck?
Together.
Nigga.
No, bro, it's crazy because I grew up in the church, pastor's kid, but one thing that we did just as religiously as church was watch VH1 reality shows.
Look,
Flavor of Love,
Real Chance of Love, I Love New York, Tequila, bitch. I watched them
all of them. VH1 was on one. VH1
I
was on
watched all of them.
So
bro.
yeah, whenever I feel like when I seen Hoops, I had a lot of feelings I didn't know was do it. Like, because my coming out story is a lot different, but it's not my interview. But it took me a lot longer to accept that fact about myself. But it's like looking back on it, like I definitely like saw her in a certain light, but I never I didn't even entertain that as a possibility because I literally was telling myself I won't let myself.
I have a fond memory of me we're watching the season finale and she won and I'm fucking tweaking like the fucking Steelers won the Super Bowl and my sister was like, "Damn, would you like her or something?" And in my head I'm like,
"Oh my god,
that was so embarrassing." Bitch, I don't
let me
I don't even know what to say right now.
It's like, no, what the hell? You think I'm gay? How gross.
Meanwhile, my whole kitty cat over here. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I feel like my coming out story. I had a girlfriend before I came out.
What age was that? Or what grade?
9th grade. I had my first.
So you when do you feel like you accepted it in yourself, or when do you feel like you knew
I felt like when I started getting old enough to dress myself.
Okay.
And work, not work, but I think I worked for BYP. You ever heard of BYP? It's a little after school youth program, whatever. Yeah, I think I used to work for them. But I used to be able to buy my own clothes. You know what I'm saying? And then I started really being who I wanted to be. You know. Yeah. And then one thing about it, I had a lot of freedom as a kid. My mom always checked on me and made sure I was straight. But I feel like there was a lot of trust. Yeah. So I was able to do a lot. So I experienced a lot. You know, I seen a lot, and it was I don't know. I did more than most high school people did. But I
already know you was the talk of Woody High. I already know you was getting into it. But you always was in a relationship too. But
not necessarily a relationship, but I always had.
You always had somebody, yeah. But anyway, so I was just asking when you knew versus when your first girlfriend was, because it's if it was 8th grade and then 9th grade, you're that's a quick.
Yeah, I feel like I was pretty sure. But I feel like I knew since a kid. So it was when I'm at the age where I can actually do something about it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But my parents didn't know, but I was public to everyone else. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
So you never struggled with the idea of letting your peers know?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. It was more so once again that trauma of disappointment.
Yeah.
And not really knowing how they would take it. You know what I'm saying?
And they're old school, so it's
yeah, really but crazy story and this is an exclusive because there's probably only 1 or 2 people who know this. But my coming out story is actually traumatic as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
I hate that I flexed before you said that. I hate that.
It's okay. It's okay.
I was just reacting to it.
It's okay though. It's okay because I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? It would be not okay if I wasn't okay, but I'm okay. I'm super secure in my story, bro. I don't really give a fuck about none of that. But my biological mom, she was on drugs at the time. You know what I'm saying? And during one of during one of her episodes, she kind of stormed in the house or whatever, and basically came out before me to my parents, on some shit I bet y'all don't know that she's gay.
Well, how did she know? She
Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn, Facebook was really crazy.
It was crazy back then, right? But it was crazy shit. It was super traumatic because I felt like she took that. She took that away from me. You know what I'm saying? And that one thing deterred our relationship for a very long time just because of trust. And I was still learning to trust her because I didn't really grow up with you. You know what I'm saying? And now that I'm trying to actually see who you are, it's then you show me that, and it made me pull away completely. Yeah. So. Yeah, and even I didn't know your mother, so I'm not one to. And my mom was a beautiful person. Genuinely, she was. I feel like you know, drugs make you into someone you're not. Like, drugs can literally change your whole brain chemistry. But, like, I always felt my mama's soul.
Yeah.
She was a beautiful soul. And she loved me. Regardless of how her life went, she loved me.
Yeah, I know that's definitely true.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, I just as an outsider's perspective of hearing this for the first time, like what I would say in that moment, you know, it might be just tied to, you know, obviously like if she's struggling with addiction, she probably dealt with her own traumas of
absolutely. And the thing is I put myself in her shoes too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like I never could hate her because I put myself in her shoes. And like, you want to be that person that knows something. Like, I know something you don't know. Like, that's my daughter. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I know if I was in the situation she was in, I'd probably think the same way. Just off the strength of just, like, being so territorial. Like, I carried you for 9 months. I had you. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not able to take care of you in the state that I'm in, I did. And I would still feel some type of way, even though you really can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, but...
Do you think that... and I don't know like the exact context because obviously I wasn't there, but do you think any of that was like her? Well, yes, you said like territorial of like over you, like her her saying like she knows, like I know this about my daughter, like, you know, I know
because ultimately, like, you know, my mom planned to keep me. It wasn't something that it was a decision that was made for her. Yeah. So in your head, if you plan on keeping me and the decision was made for you, it's more so of like. I know there was a lot of anger. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? And not just with other people, but herself as well. You know? And it's not, and it's just, people get mad when their DoorDash stole their food. Yeah, fact. Just imagine how angry you would be if someone, like you felt like someone stole your baby. Yeah. Even though that wasn't the situation, but you felt like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just, I could understand how my mom felt. And I grieved myself for her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dead ass. Like, I knew. But ultimately, you know, I felt like I did a lot of protecting myself. Like, because I know how I love. And, like, I just couldn't trust her fully with, you know, especially just being someone I know I will be extremely vulnerable with if I got close to you. Because, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it was always that. No, and you know, Scorpios we have trust issues already. Yeah, fact. And I'm a Scorpio stellium.
What sign was your mom?
A Gemini.
Oh. Yeah. In my, like, I have had some of the best relationships with Geminis, but they've always had, like, some sort of, like, push and pull. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I feel like those energies are so great together, but they also conflict at times. Mm-hmm. So, you know. For sure. So that was, like, how, you know, that was basically like your coming out story. So take me through your gay experience after that. That happened around what grade?
That was like 9th grade.
9th grade. Oh wow. So you had your first girlfriend in 9th grade and you got outed. Wow. Okay.
So like once that happened, you know, my parents were always, and I'm one of the lucky ones because I know a lot of people don't have this experience, especially with older parents. Mm-hmm. But like ultimately, like my parents, like they knew love on another level. They knew the love of God, like not religion, but the love of God. Right. If you get what I'm saying.
It's facts, it's different.
And I feel like they looked at me and they seen my soul and they said, I don't care what you like. You are my daughter, and I love you, and you're going to be something regardless of who you decide to start a family with. Like, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't define who you are. Right. And I feel like having that support, you know what I'm saying? I feel like my mom, she kind of struggled with it, but not the gay part. She struggled with the fact that she would never see me in a dress again. That's what she struggled with.
Really?
Oh, yeah. She wanted to see me with a dress and like, she wouldn't give it was another girl with a dress. She just wanted me to see me with a dress on. Yeah. But she always just thought I was just so beautiful.
Right. You know what I'm saying? She more so struggled with your gender expression.
Yeah, but I feel like I had to show her that my beauty could be expressed in different ways. Yeah. And once she seen that, like, oh, like, you actually still fly, you still be throwing that shit on, I feel like she started to accept it as I got older. Like, no, I'm like, I'm gonna let you be, because you actually doing it.
You doing it.
But yeah, man.
So okay, so that all happened in like ninth grade, and then the rest of high school was the rest of high school. And yeah, I mean, I think just from me being your friend all these years, I've seen you through several relationships. But I will say, like, I feel like Scorpios get a bad rep for like, people think that like we're hoes, or people think that like, but it's like you. I feel like you've been in like. I feel like you've been in more relationships than like most people.
Because I feel like I'm more so like
you're commitment oriented.
Yes, I'm very commitment oriented, but also I feel like I recognize what my energy is.
Yeah.
And I have a very good, pure, comforting, loving. I love my energy, and I know other people do too.
Yeah.
And everybody can't get that in, especially at the same time. Like, it's just like, you know, and I did have my whole phases where I'm fucking a couple bitches at the same time, but I realized how unfulfilled I was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was fulfilling y'all more than it was fulfilling me.
Right.
You feel me? And I feel like when I lock in with one person, that's the only way you could get really past surface level. And that's really where you get the real, genuine, like, raw shit. Like, the shit that be having the bitches all fucked up. Yeah, like, that's the shit that you get because you get me on a different level.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like that's why I'm unforgettable.
That's how it be, though, because I feel like, you know, I feel like I as your fellow Scorpio, like, I feel like I'm the same way. Like, I've never really, you know, I had a couple times where I talked to a couple people at the same time, but for the majority of it, for the most part, like, I've always been a one person at a time type of person. Like, even when I'm in a talking phase. So
especially when you know what you offer, it's like if you just imagine me offering all this to so many people, like, it's like, I don't know, I just can't do that because I feel like, especially like, I don't know, I'm just not a surface level person. Exactly. You gotta be a very surface level person to be fucking with multiple people at the same time because they can't really, you know what I'm saying? They really can't crack. Yeah. So it's like, and
it's like you said, you hit the nail on the head. Like, there's literally a different level of yourself that unlocks whenever you are like in a relationship where you feel safe and comforted, and they break down that barrier. So yeah, I definitely feel that. Okay, so we already talked about how you know, went through high school and then you went to college, started playing basketball. We was close in college because we was fucking drinking every damn day. Drinking all the time, like literally every day of the week. It's crazy because it's like the girls basketball team and the girls softball team were closer to each other than they were with the boys basketball team and the baseball team. Like, normally it's like, oh, softball and baseball, they party together.
Hell no.
Men's basketball, women's basketball,
we didn't really fuck with them niggas.
No. Same thing with baseball. Like, we were like, I mean, I went to a couple parties or whatever, but our two teams, like, and like I said, it was like literally, I feel like Maria was the glue because she literally was from I swear, shout out to Maria. But yeah, like, it's just such good times. Like,
no, facts.
I look back on college very fondly. But yeah, okay, so after that, I'm actually gonna skip to you after college, and I kind of want to get into, before I talk about some numerology and zodiac stuff and spirituality, I want to talk about how you got to Atlanta.
Okay.
Like, so after school, I know you were bro, I remember you producing. Are you still producing?
No, you know, I still know how, but like, I feel like, you know, I turned it more to like a hobby. Like, 'cause I feel like producing make me happy, but like when the business side started getting into it, it was just like, actually, I just prefer to do this for myself. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really like.
And that's okay. I feel like people try to think. People always say that you have to like. People are always trying to get you to monetize your hobby. And it doesn't always have to be that. Like, everything doesn't have to be a business.
No, facts.
I say as I like make my own business, but
it doesn't.
Like, yeah, it doesn't have to.
I can say I know how to do something that most people don't know how to do.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
But
so you went to school. What was your major? It was sport management, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you went to school for sport management. How quickly did you realize that was like not what you wanted to do?
As soon as I picked a major.
For real?
Bro, I went to school for hookah.
Yeah, facts.
Real shit. Like, I honestly knew the concept of college, like, what it would, like, I knew, like, college was going to teach me more life shit than actually, I knew I wasn't going to do nothing with that damn, like, I don't know. It's just, like, I feel like I went into college with learning in another way.
Yeah.
Because I learned a lot about myself in college that I use more of those tools than I do anything I learned in the classroom.
Oh yeah, facts. I always say that college is literally. I think that everybody should go to college just for the life experience.
Just for the life experience.
Not for the classes or anything. It's just you're exposed to different walks of life, just the different things. It's your first time really being out in the world. It gives you a safety net because you know at the end of the day you have room and board.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you a safety net to kind of be on your own. It's almost like it's a great transition. Like it's just a great transitional period. But so after that, I remember after we graduated, you went back to school for producing though, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to Full Sail University.
Yeah, I did.
That
was it.
Yeah, I actually graduated. It was like an associate's degree.
Oh really?
But like, yeah, I got that or whatever. And
Did you go online?
Yeah, it was online.
Was it more difficult?
Oh yeah, it was difficult as fuck.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was difficult as fuck.
Sure. Especially something like learning like to produce.
Like music theory. And
like
shit
that's great.
Like,
that's so hard.
But like I more so was like I really just I was a creative more than anything. Like I was making beats and didn't know anything about the shit.
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying? But like I feel like that taught me a little more, based on just to have how to make my shit sound a little better.
Yeah.
But like I feel like as I also like some people I started it with ended up not, you know what I'm saying, being friends anymore and shit like that, and like it was a lot of shit, like my shit getting stolen and stuff like that. It was just a lot of stuff that happened in that time that made me be like, my relationship with me doing music changed.
Yeah.
But like I think my love for music has always been there since a kid though. Like I loved music. Like I used to sit on YouTube all fucking day and just listen to new music videos and just listen to new artists and people singing and just like hours and hours, and it's just like I've always had a love for music, but that doesn't necessarily mean that was my purpose.
Yeah, I feel like people really. I always talk about how like music videos aren't appreciated enough.
Oh
like,
no,
bro,
swear.
People don't do music videos.
MTV Jams, bro.
I used to watch before school every single day.
Every day. It used to not leave my TV.
Swear. And then when I got home from school, I had an older cousin. My older cousin Q. I've said this so many times before. Like he's one of the most influential people on my music taste because he was always really into music, but he was always just watching music videos and stuff. And he was older than me. Like he graduated high school in 2008. So he's like a little bit older than me. Like he's like, look, he's pushing 40. But but yeah, music videos are just like I feel like they're unappreciated and people don't make music videos how they used to. Like people don't understand the importance of music videos. Like I'll go to war about music videos and their importance to the culture. Like people don't take them seriously anymore. But I'm getting off topic. So anyways, so okay, you went to school for producing, got your associates, and then you started doing it, but you kind of just realized that it wasn't,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't love it enough. The thing is, you can love something, but not love it enough to go through the trials and tribulations that come with it. You know what I'm saying? And I realized, like, oh, I don't love this enough to go through all this bullshit.
Yeah,
you feel me? But like, I feel like, things just lead you. Everything is leading you to your purpose.
Right.
You just don't realize it at the time.
Right. Did you think? Do you feel like? Did you think that was your? I have two questions. Did you think that was your purpose at one point?
I think my purpose was to spread joy.
Mm-hmm. But did you think?
But I thought that was the avenue at one point.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But that's a very broad thing.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that avenue. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. I forgot my second question.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I did wonder that though, because I feel like a lot of times with creative stuff, a lot of times we think that like, this is my purpose, but it's like, you can find your purpose. Like, it's not always the first thing that you try.
I feel like music just gave me, like, cause I know what music did for me. Yeah. And I know music is healing. And I know in this lifetime, like, I feel like music gives.
Yeah,
and constantly gives and gives. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like when you become a part of it and you make yourself an instrument, that's you giving back.
Mm.
And I felt like that was just my way of fulfilling my purpose through music. But ultimately, the music business is a whole different of it. Yeah, it's a whole different situation. Like, that's not even, you know what I'm saying? It's not correlating with what I actually feel my purpose is.
Yeah. So your purpose is your purpose something that you've always, is the idea of having a purpose
like, has that been something you've always been like aware of? Because I feel like I didn't really realize I had to go through a lot of life shit to like.
I was gonna say I had to go through a lot of bullshit. I had to go through a lot of making a lot of choices and choosing a lot of external factors.
Yeah.
To like lead me and thinking like, cause you know, it's like there was a point in time where I was looking for other things to put me in a position to fulfill my purpose instead of like looking within and actually seeing who I actually was.
Right.
Once I decided to learn about myself, which is a great transition to the next subject.
Yeah.
Once I decided to actually learn who I was, oh no, like I knew exactly what you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh no, like this is who I am. Like
right.
you feel me? And in entirety, and like that alone is a manifestation of self. It's just learning yourself. It's just like constantly picking yourself apart. You start manifesting your purpose.
Yeah, and you learn a lot about yourself through relationships too.
So absolutely.
Like, yeah. So after you kind of came to that realization about producing though, you were still in Pittsburgh at that point. So when and why did you decide to move to Atlanta? Like, what was the motivation behind
Well, honestly, that me moving to Atlanta was on my mind for a while. I'm not gonna lie. It all started like me and my dog Ty. Who you know?
Shout out Ty. Shout out Ty. We gotta dap each other up in honor of her.
For sure. We had took a trip down ATL, and at the time my dog Mace was down there. Shout out Mace, by the way. She was living down there or whatever, and we just went for spring break. We were still in school.
This was your first time ever in Atlanta?
Yeah, this was like the month before graduation.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, like we went to like Atlanta for the first time, and I loved it there, man. We had such a great time, and that same year, Jeff got killed.
Oh, okay.
He got killed that December.
Wow.
And I think once he got killed, my whole mindset shifted about where I was at and what I was doing. And I felt like it was such a pattern at the time, which is still a pattern. That's why I gotta stay off Facebook. But it was such a pattern at the time. It was like 3 people getting killed a week at one point. You know what I'm saying?
That's how people underestimate Pittsburgh, man.
Bro,
Pittsburgh
it's
a very dangerous place.
I can't even look on Facebook because there's a new person dead every day.
It be random shit. Like it be literally random shit too. It's not all crime either.
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
Just like something weird in the air. Like I love Pittsburgh to death.
But there's a dark cloud over my city, and I felt it a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I just knew that like I was outgrowing it. Like I was outgrowing the energy. I couldn't really grow as much as I wanted to there, and it was like I also was getting out of a toxic situation, a toxic relationship. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, I was rebuilding myself, and I'm like, yo, I'm out of here. Like I don't want to be here no more. Like I genuinely didn't. And the last place that I went that I felt like truly like it felt home for away from home was here.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, I want to move to Atlanta. My mom didn't believe me at first. She was like, okay, like until that U-Haul pulled up outside. And then my dog LA helped me pack up the whole shit. Shout out to LA.
Yeah, shout out LA.
And then my dog LA, she helped me pack up the whole U-Haul and drove all the way to Atlanta for me. And I'll never forget that shit, bro. Because not a lot of niggas is going to drive, get in the U-Haul with you and drive 11 hours and help you move into your crib. Yeah. Just me and her. The realest nigga on my team.
Yeah.
Too, bro. You
type, I'm like, I don't take no offense to it. You know, it's multiple reasons. I don't take no offense to it. And LA's done a lot for me too. LA is a beautiful person, so I'll never.
And just the fact that like she's in the circle, like I don't know, I just feel like everything happens for a reason. Man.
Yeah, facts. So you mentioned Jeff's passing being a motivating factor behind you moving to Atlanta. Do you want to expand on? You don't have to.
I mean, yeah, like that was my brother, man. Shout out to him. But I feel like we were so close, and like I could have like been with him at the time. And I used to always think that. Like I used to bust moves and even do all that, like, you know. And I feel like it just put things in perspective. Like you don't have to be in some shit to be the one to get out of here. You can just be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Facts.
And I just felt like I wanted to restart. I wanted to start over, start fresh with a clean slate. And I felt like his death just showed me that like it put a timer on me. Like, it just was like, you gotta get out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I would think that. I was thinking that for years before I left. Like, it was like a good 2 years before I was like, all right, I'm out.
It's time. Yeah. I feel like when your body and your mind is telling you it's time.
Exactly.
And that's anything in life.
And I feel like the only thing that was keeping there was my mom and my dad, like my family, like my sisters, my nephews and stuff. And I was like, damn, I'm not gonna get to see my nephews grow up, and you know what I'm saying? But you know, now it's like I'm seeing that all played out. Like, nah, like they love me. Like, you know, they love their aunt. Like, regardless if I live in Atlanta, they know their aunt live in Atlanta.
I swear.
You know, like, you know what I'm saying? They know when Christmas comes to.
Exactly.
Like, you feel me? But like, yeah, man.
Yeah. So, I think that I feel like it's just a scare tactic to try to keep you in your city. Like, everybody says that, but I really respect people who move away and they start fresh, because you didn't know nobody here. Besides, you said your friend Mace was here.
Yeah. Mason Ty was here when I moved here, because Ty had moved here too.
I didn't know that Ty lived here.
Yeah, she lived here like probably. She was only here for like a year that I was here. It was like probably like 9-10 months before she went back.
Oh wow.
And we was down here together for that amount of time. But like, we was down here, and she moved back, and that's when I really like had to find my way, because like I didn't really know nobody. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, that taught me a lot about myself too, about like me just not being as introverted. I had to really tap into the Sag in my chart and really like go out and like, you know, conversate and, you know, do different shit. And yeah, like I feel like it's been a crazy 6 years.
Yeah, in fact, it's been a long time, very quickly too.
Yeah.
So so that whole time, was that when you started to get into numerology or zodiacs, or is that something you've always
I started getting into astrology in high school. Like, you know, just like your basic astrology. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, just knowing I'm a Scorpio and stuff like that. But like I didn't start really expanding on like now I'm like full blown into it. So it's like, you know, I didn't start looking into planets and houses and degrees, and then I'm starting to tie it to numerology, then I'm tying numerology to human design. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm realizing that all of it is connected. It's like that was a really, really long process, because I'm like picking through one, and then I'm like, okay. And then once I digest it, I'm like, okay, let me move on and see how this correlates. And everything says the same thing, but just in different aspects of your life and different aspects of who you are. And I feel like numerology, astrology, and human design is something that should be taught in schools. Like, I genuinely believe that, and I hope to see the day that it does, because people can truly know who they are instead of what society wants us to be. I think it's the blueprint, and I know a lot of people look at it as like the devil or whatever. I don't know what the fuck people be talking about, but I feel like God put these tools here in order for us to know ourselves, in order for us to find the God within ourselves, in order to manifest our purpose.
Right.
And I think me going on that journey and just realizing that like I'm a life path 9. Shout out to all my life path 9s out there. So I'm a humanitarian, and basically, you know, I was put here to be a humanitarian, to help, to bring people together, to build community, to create a circle, an environment of positivity and growth. And I genuinely always felt like that was the only thing that made me truly happy without any type of monetary value.
That's deep.
Like, I feel like me helping people sparked something inside of myself. I'd be thinking about it for 3 days straight. Not about what it did for me, but what it did for the other person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's crazy because I try to see everybody through a like childhood light, and I try to connect, because I feel like everything in your life and like the fiber of your being literally comes back to childhood. And I feel like that just aligns with like your childhood so much, and like how you came up and the things you went through. Like, you want to help people. Like, it just makes so much sense with your story. Like, when you think about like your story and everything that happened in your life and different things that you went through in the path to get to who you are, I feel like it only makes sense. Like, you want to help people. Like, that's in your character. It's in your DNA. You know what I'm saying?
And it's truly fulfilling.
Yes, you've been surrounded by humanitarians, though. Like
Yeah, crazy enough, my parents were both life path 9s.
Oh, really?
And my biological mom was a life path 9.
Oh, really?
Crazy.
Wow.
And the house that, like the last house I grew up in, was a 9. Houses can have numerology too.
Oh,
but it was a 9 house.
You know so much more. Like, every time I talk to you, I'm like, bro, it's like your brain, like, you're using, you know how we only use like 9% of our brain or whatever it is? You're using like 35% at least. Because I'm like, I understand a lot about like astrology, but I don't even understand the houses as much, or like I barely understand like different planets being in different things and what that means. But you know, like, you put me on, you helped me find out that I'm a life path 8. Like, I didn't know nothing about no life path number. Like, you're always putting me on to some other like shit. Like,
but it's really just it all boils down to energy. Literally, we're all so intricate.
yeah,
All of us. There's not one person the same as another person on this earth, and it all comes down to the tiny, minute details. From you being, for my Scorpio and Mercury being at 8 degrees and you're being at 9, that 1 degree makes us different. And it makes us different in ways that we don't know until we look into ourselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? And do our research. And realize, like, oh, that's why I'm like that? Okay, that's why I have a tendency to do this? Okay, and it also puts you in a perspective to things that you might not like about yourself, that is just naturally who you are, put you in a position to be able to change them. Because people think, like, just because, like, we know, okay, we know about astrology, human design, and numerology, cool, but this is also a blueprint on things that we can grow from. Like, we don't have to be these, like, energy is not destroyed, it is transformed. So it's like, we can take this energy and make it into something else. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's making you aware of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't aware of their own energy.
No, a lot of people don't know themselves. Like, and I think that that's another reason why, like, everybody's on their own path to find their purpose, but it's why some people are surface level and some people are deeper. Like, I feel like, you know, for you, like, getting into spirituality and numerology and just understand, like, that helped you understand yourself more, and it was easier for you to find your purpose because those things helped you find your purpose. Not that,
and that was just my journey. There's more than one way to find your purpose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was just my journey on how I found a purpose. But me being a life path 9, and it clicks why that's still my journey. You know what I'm saying? Life path 9s are very spiritual, and this is my last lifetime as a human. You know what I mean?
So you believe in, like, reincarnation?
I do too. Yeah, I do.
To an extent, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, energy cannot be destroyed; it can only be transformed. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that is more spiritual than science to me.
Yeah.
To my scientists, like, I feel like that's more spiritual than science to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it all comes down to your soul. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that it's like so weird for me because, like, obviously I'm a preacher's kid, so, like, I grew up in Kojic, Church of God in Christ, which is, like, one of the most, you know, like,
hey.
you know how Kojic get down, like, it's very strict. It's literally like for real. So, like it was hard for me to, like, I dealt with a lot of, like, religious trauma, so, like, but I'm also into that stuff, so it took a lot of unlearning for me to realize, like, me being into even, like, people reading, like, tarot cards, like, on
they're all connected.
Yeah, but, like,
connected.
you know, you grow up in the church, they're like, tarot cards are literally witchcraft.
The devil. Yeah,
that's the worst. Like, that's, like, the worst. And now, like, I had to understand that tarot, like, and it's not like I go and I seek tarot, but if they come up on my TikTok, like, I'll listen to it, you know, or, like, it's not like I'm reading tarot or I'm going and seeking it, but, you know, I do think it's, like, interesting, like, because I'm interested in energy, you know, and the shit, for all my non-believers, the shit be hitting. Like, it be making too much sense. So it's just like,
I mean, the thing is, I believe in God. Don't get me wrong. I believe in God. But I feel like all of us have our own relationship with our God.
Right.
There's people who use religion as, because there's a difference between religion and spirituality, obviously.
Yeah.
And I feel like, to put it in simple terms, the difference to me is spirituality is you focusing on your relationship, your personal relationship with God and your journey, and there's no set of rules except for love and hate.
Yeah.
Whether you're motivated by love or you're motivated by hate. You're motivated by positivity or you're motivated by negativity. That's how I feel like it's split.
Yeah.
But religion, I feel like there's so many rules that you have to follow in order to even be accepted or loved by God.
Right.
I don't think I have to be a certain way to be loved by God.
Right.
I don't think I have to be, you know what I'm saying? I think God made me divinely in his name, and me growing and knowing that, I feel like you can't tell me if I do this and do that I'm not worthy.
Right.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, I feel like it's very contradictory. Like I've always said, like, but if I would say this, like in certain circles, it might be considered blasphemous. But like,
and that's fine because I feel like I feel like the Bible was man-made. Then this is all people's relationship with their God, and they're telling the story. And the thing is, the point is to read the Bible and resonate with what you resonate with.
Right.
You're not going to resonate with everybody's story,
right,
because everybody's story isn't the story that you're having with your, you know what I'm saying,
right,
your relationship with God.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like people try to force it on themselves, even if they don't believe it, because they feel like if I don't, then I'm going to go to hell. But it's like your actions.
Well, yeah, and that's it's just a very, I think it's so interesting because, like, the idea to me, well, okay, I'll say this also might, I'd be very careful trying not to, because of my religious trauma, I'd be trying to not say things that are blasphemous, because that is said is like the ultimate sin. You cannot be saved from hell.
I feel like it's more so respect for you.
Yeah, yes,
your parents.
Yes, exactly. But you know, I feel like religion, to an extent, it's like it's a necessary evil in this world, because I feel like it's used by those in power to keep people being good people. Like if there's no consequences, like no eternal consequences, and you don't have guilt to push people, like what's people's motivation to?
If we had another hour, I could go on for days.
Yeah,
just
swear.
about how
I can't even.
Religion was put on our ancestors, and like we were all spiritual beings. Black women, spiritual beings. Like we knew God on a whole nother level, and then they put rules in front of us to make it seem like if we don't do this and do that, we're not deserving. At the end of the day, we are flawed human beings.
Yes.
And we are going to make mistakes over and over and over again. So you mean to tell me throughout these mistakes, I'm not worthy of God's love?
Yeah, but God's love is unconditional.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's when I said, back to with my mom, I said my mom knew God's love and not religion.
Yeah.
Because there's parents out there who just go with religion and then they banish their kids. They don't talk to their kids because they're gay.
It's literally all contradictory to God's teaching. Like, you're taught the love of God, that He loves all of His children no matter what. So it's like, how are you saying that and you believe this, yet you are being the most judgmental person ever?
Exactly.
So
that's what I'm saying. Religion can brainwash and brainwash you so much that you put love aside.
Because they're scared of
you put love on the back burner and put religion before love.
Yes. Well, I think that too, it's like people are like in a way they're selfish, because it's like, I know that this is what my religion is teaching me, but I feel like me accepting you is me accepting what they see as the sin, and I don't want to put my eternal life in jeopardy, so I have to banish
your journey is not someone else's journey, and that's what I feel like people think that like their journey is going to be contagious. Like, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, like, we were all put here on our own walk. Own walk. And, like, once you look at life like that, and look at it as, like, everybody's on their own journey, it's like, bro, you start really, like, you know, realizing, like, man, like, a lot of stuff ain't as serious as y'all make it, because there's a lot more, way more important shit.
Yeah, and it's just, like, way more evil shit that's happening in the world that we actually need to focus on.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's...
So, do you feel like there was a turning point in your life where, well, I guess you already answered that. I was going to say the turning point in your life where you were like, no, this is my purpose. And like, how would you define your purpose right now? I guess I'll say.
I would define my purpose as using everything that I went through as a child, everything I've been through in my life thus far, as a fuel and motivation, and to use it as a example that, you know, for the youth, as a way to like show them like you can overcome, you can persevere. I feel like there's nothing I went through in this life for no reason.
Right.
And I genuinely feel like it's slowly building me up to be able to be that wise out to kids, especially because I truly am a believer in the only way we change this world is through youth. That's the only way we can, because once adults reach a certain age, it's damn near hard to crack the code.
Yeah, and
so
your life starts at, like I said that earlier, everything goes back to childhood.
Exactly.
Like,
so I feel like the things that I learned throughout my life, and like now that I'm getting to the point of learning myself, I want to be able to implement these lessons and that I've learned, and like these outlets that I've learned to help me emotionally regulate, to help me just be a better person and be a better human being. And I feel like that's my purpose, is to be able to give back in that way, you know, and let people know like you're not what happened to you. You don't have to be a victim. You can be a victor.
That's a fucking bar. That's a fucking bar.
Real shit.
You don't have to be a victim. You can be a motherfucking victor.
Real right. And I feel like
that's hard as hell.
I live by that though. I'm never a victim to life. Anything that happens for me is for a reason. It's either something I have to change, or some, like, you know what I'm saying, internally, or something I have to change externally. And I feel like it's just something you have to look at life as a messenger.
Yeah.
Like there's messages everywhere. And it's a reflection of who you are at the moment and who you're around. So I feel like when things happen to me that are like, you know, out of the ordinary or something, like, you know what I'm saying, even down to like, oh, I randomly got a flat tire on the highway randomly, like, you know what I'm saying, like, actually it wasn't randomly, it's because you were supposed to put that air in the tire like 3 days ago and you didn't forget, like, I mean, you didn't remember, but it's like, that's because you're not putting yourself first and you're putting other people first, and it's like, it's a ricochet effect, and you start digging deep and you be like, actually, like, that was my fault.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying, it wasn't random.
That's a way to look at it too. Like I would have never like on my own thought to like go down that path of thinking.
Yeah, because it does all go back to something like that. Yeah, like everything you go through.
That's a really interesting perspective, and like that's why I love talking to you, because I feel like you're one of the deepest friends I have. Like, and I feel like you have a way of making like simple concepts, like basically bringing like life purpose into simple concepts. Like I never would have thought like how a flat tire can relate to you not putting yourself first. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like a
literally.
Really cool
and if you dig deep enough and you see the pattern, like recognize the patterns within yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And realizing like, okay, like that's something I need to change, or I'm going to keep going through this cycle over and over again. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even if I grow in one area of my life, this area of my life is going to keep yanking me, because I'm not trying to, like, I'm trying to evolve. Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to evolve. And I feel like, you know, I've always said what doesn't grow dies. And I think that's in every life force. Yeah. If you don't water a plant, it dies. If it doesn't get enough sunlight, it dies. And that's the same thing with humans. You have to water yourself. You know what I'm saying? Swear. You gotta make sure that you let your light shine. You gotta make sure that you protect that light within yourself. Mm-hmm.
What's your middle name?
Sunshine.
Right, side. Yeah, Kayla always says something that I try, and Kayla be on the positive shit, like, but she's very spiritual too. But you know, sometimes I be. I always do that about Kayla though. Yeah, like, but she always says, everything is happening for me, not to me. Absolutely. But she be saying that shit when I'm pissed, and I'm like, girl, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit right now.
No, like, my girl said the same thing. She said it's not rejection. It's redirection. It's redirection and protection. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and when you look at life like that, it's never you failing, or it's always a pivot. It's all character. Yeah, it's all pivot. It's not like, oh, I failed. It's not like, okay, let me pivot. Poof. Swear.
I be saying too that, you know, life is like, I feel like my philosophy on life is like, your story is already written. And I feel like I sound like a broken record because I say this all the time, but Your story is already written. It's only a shock to you because you haven't read the next chapter.
Exactly.
Everything that ever is going to happen to you in your life is written.
Exactly.
It's written. And actually, this book I read, The Alchemist, which I actually have with me because I want to reread it. That was a book that I kind of was like skeptical of before I read it, but then after I read it, I was like, no, like it's basically just a story about like on the base level, it's basically a story about following your dreams. But there's like so much in it that like just changes your way of thinking. It's not as simple as it sounds, you know. But that's whenever I really started like having that way of thinking. Like your life is written. It's just a shock because you don't know the next chapter yet. Like everything they say in the book a lot. Like it's written. It is written. It is written. So I've changed my perspective to that a lot. But I wanted to ask you, how do you feel like your life path would have changed, or your purpose or your direction of your life would have been different if you would have stayed in Pittsburgh? Like if you never moved to Atlanta, if you never moved out.
To be honest, I feel like I would have been more so focused on other people's purpose of it than my own if I was still in Pittsburgh. I feel like I feel like, you know, with my friends and everything, like I feel like I had to leave Pittsburgh to really figure out who I wanted to be. And put myself in a situation where I had to just depend on me. You know what I'm saying? And when you bare naked like that, and you really figure yourself out on what you really want and what works for you and what doesn't work for you and why I keep putting myself in these positions and overcoming those positions and growing and becoming wise. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had to do that. But like, I feel like if I was still in Pittsburgh, I would see my friends doing stuff and just want to be a supportive friend and wanted to be all in and play a part in that. You know what I'm saying?
And not do nothing for you.
Exact. And I would be neglecting myself.
Right.
You feel me? So when I moved to Atlanta, that was part of the purpose too. It's just to like know myself better.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. Do you feel like there was any like event in Atlanta that like, yes, you were already here and you were there, but do you feel like there was any like event that happened that really like shifted your perspective on life, or
Oh yeah, easy.
for real?
Like losing my mom and my dad, both my moms and my dad. Like I lost my biological mom, I lost my adopted mom, I lost my dad all while I was here. That made me be like, bitch, you ain't moved here for no reason. You get what I'm saying? That really shifted my brain. It's because I moved away from y'all to find myself, which kept me, that I lost time. You know what I'm saying? Time I'll never get back. And I feel like it completely shifted my focus and it made me really dive into me. And, you know, I'm still getting to know who I am, but I really had to get to know who I was again after every person. Like,
especially being away from home.
Exactly.
Like,
so it's like, I feel like, and they all died like 2 years apart. Like it was like a year and a half, 2 years. Like it was like very close together. So it's like even when I'm like even attempting to breathe one, it was like another one came, and it's just like it really showed me how strong I was. Like it really showed me that like I'm incapable of feeling immense pain and still using it as power. Like I feel like this whole last 4 years of my life, which was my Saturn return ended in February. Thank you, God, Jesus. But these last 4 years of my life have been such a like, man. Like when I tell you actually like 5. My Saturn return was like a good 5 years, and it was rough, man. It was rough. Like it was rough out here. Like I struggled for a long time before I found my way. You feel me? Because like I'm leaving somewhere that I didn't have a support system, and I don't want to even tell my support system what I'm going through because you know everybody, well, you should just come back and like so I'm hiding a lot of shit that I'm going through just to like let y'all just so I can prove to myself I can do it on my own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, but I did learn, like, you know, you need somebody. Everybody needs somebody. And even though I wasn't leaning into them and I didn't want to disappoint them once again, it was more so like I ended up finding a community out here. I ended up finding like-minded individuals out here that like helped me along my journey.
Yeah. Do you, did you get into boxing around?
I got into boxing after my mom Mary died, which was, that was in 2023, the end of 2023. I needed an outlet ASAP. And I always loved boxing. Like, I used to watch boxing as a kid. Like, I watched boxing since I was like 7. Like, I've always watched, like, on my phone, I've always watched Floyd Mayweather fights, you know. I've always been into boxing, but I always hooped.
Right.
But I feel like I needed some type of physical outlet. And that's one thing I learned about myself through my human design and my numerology and my astrology is that, like, who I am as a human being, I need a physical outlet. It's not a negotiation.
Yeah.
It's something that I need in order to regulate my energy.
Yeah, I also remember we had a conversation before about working out, and you said to me, like, bro, I can't just work out just to work out. I need, like, a sport to do.
Yeah, I need mental stimulation.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, like, I feel like that when I found boxing, it was just a way to take that pain and turn it into something. You know what I'm saying? And, like, once I started, like, you know, the gym I go to, I actually went in there before it was ever open.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually seen my coach, Coach T. Shout out Coach T. He was in there setting up bags, and I got his. I was like, yo, this about to be a gym. He like, yeah, like, I'm like, he gave me his card, and like I had that card in my wallet for like 5 months, and then one day I just looked at it and was like, let's see what's up with this. And I went one day and I never stopped. And like, those guys became like a family, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I found different ways. It's like, God never takes something away without giving you something back. You just have to be able to recognize it. And I feel like, even though, like, I don't have parents, but I have so much fucking love around me, bro. Like, I have beautiful people around me, genuine humans, like, that are rare.
Yeah.
That obviously were put in my path. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm around some real niggas, and I feel like that was a part of what he gave me back. You know?
Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like, you know, these tragedies happen. And I don't like to say, like, everything happens for a reason, because it's so hard to explain, like, so many bad things that happen in the world with almost sometimes no reprieve.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like you experience everything for a reason, though. Like, it's so crazy how so many different things that become so integral to your life and your life story happen because of tragedy.
Absolutely.
And I also think it's really, something that's really interesting about boxing is how it is literally a sport that is meant, on the surface, it's a sport that's meant to inflict pain on others, but it absolves so many people of pain.
Absolutely.
You know, and really, like, to be surface level about it and, like, not deep about it, like, you're punching somebody. Like, you are literally beating somebody.
Yeah, and the thing
but
is,
like,
the thing about it is, it's like once you see it and you see it as that, but once you do it, you realize that it's art.
Yeah.
You realize, like every other sport, there are intricate details about it that you wouldn't know unless you did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like once I learned that, and I learned, like, you know, I always knew it was an art because I watched it, but like doing it and seeing it is two different things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, if you haven't started since you was a kid, like it's harder to start older.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's harder to grasp the skills that people been working on since a kid. You know what I'm saying? But once you do and you start to like get better and shit, like it's just the gratification of like starting something at this age and being able to see yourself improve and shit. I feel like it just proved to me that, like, you know, another way of proving to myself that, like, I can get through anything.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's very much like a see what you're made of sport. It's
Absolutely.
like when I've always thought, like, with boxing, like, and I've never boxed outside of like you know, working out, doing it. But I've never like actually boxed. Like I don't own gloves, nothing. But you know, just through people that I know that are into it, like I've realized like I always said that I could never box because I would get mad and want to fight somebody. But then like through y'all, I've realized like it's really a sport. Like you said, it's an art. You're not really trying to hurt the other person, but it's like you're not fighting somebody. This is gonna sound so like corny and like I'm trying too hard, but like you're not fighting the other person. Like you're really fighting yourself, and you're fighting like
absolutely.
your demons.
No, that's
like,
you're spot on.
Yeah,
because
like
the only like real shit, like mentally, that sport is 85% mental.
yeah.
Deadass. Like it is
how
not.
much are you gonna be? How high the standard?
You can talk yourself out. You can talk yourself into losing.
Yeah, yeah.
You can be prepared as fuck
Mm-hmm.
and talk yourself into losing.
Right.
You gotta go out there with a different mentality. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it also taught me that my mental is different.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a self-love sport. I think it is. Because it's like you're protecting yourself at the end of the day. Like,
yes.
You are protecting yourself from harm. And I feel like it's just a beautiful analogy for, like, self-love.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense that you're into it, just given your journey and given everything that,
hell yeah.
you know, we talked about.
And it's like the thing is, it's like, I spar my brothers and we go and chill afterwards. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's all love. Like, once you realize, like, when you in there, it's like, there's no ego in boxing.
Yeah.
You got to take the ego out of boxing. Once you take the ego out of boxing, that's when you start getting better.
Yeah.
That's when you realize, like, okay, I'm doing all this stuff for a reason. I'm going to do this to him to get him better.
Yeah.
He's going to do this to me to get me better. It's not about hurting each other and none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's the love of the sport. And I feel like once you really just grasp the things it teaches you, it's like, it don't matter what level you on, amateur, pro, you just starting out, it can teach, boxing teach you the same shit.
Yeah, I've grown a great respect for boxing just because of like the people around me who are into it. So do you feel like, I mean, kind of switching gears, but to kind of wind our conversation down, do you feel like you want to stay in Atlanta forever?
Nah.
No.
I feel like I got some time left in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where the wind's gonna take me, but I do know my next endeavor that I'm starting that I don't want to be prematurely talking about, but I am putting my purpose into action, and I do want to start it here.
Okay. Yeah, we've talked about. I know what you're talking about. We've talked about that.
So I've already started that process also. So it's like I do want to start it here. I don't know where the wind's gonna blow, but ultimately I don't think I want to die in the United States.
Oh, you want to like really be in another country?
Yeah.
Like
you
have any countries in mind?
Well, me and my girl, we actually going to go check out Costa Rica in a couple weeks.
I actually heard Costa Rica is great for black gay expats. Like, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we're going to check out because like that's one of the places that
that you could see yourself.
Yeah,
them Caribbean islands is different, man. The sun is there.
Yeah.
The vibes is different.
For sure.
I feel like that sunshine, like on your skin, is just like I gotta move. So I've been saying like I would love to be bi-coastal. Like I gotta move somewhere where I don't experience winter. Like I'm just
real shit. Like I just feel like I don't know, man. I've spent enough time in winter. Like I've spent the majority of my life in winter season. Like
y'all got snow this year?
Yes,
bro. Yeah, during that big
like
snowstorm.
it's like no, I don't want to deal with that shit.
You was probably like, man, watch out for real.
Bruh, that's the goal. But ultimately, like, you know, I'm really going wherever my purpose takes me. You know, and I never really know where that is. It's like we have a plan, and then God says, haha, you know. So
literally.
It's like,
so, what are some ways that you would say you nourish your soul? Like, how do you take care of yourself and your soul and your purpose? To make sure you're like being authentic with yourself and genuine.
One thing I do that I used to like really had a hard time doing growing up is like speaking up for myself and really being more self-expressive. I feel like that keeps me authentic. It's like, you know, not really sugarcoating things and really saying what I mean and meaning what I say. Like, I feel like that keeps me authentic and really, like, listening to my energy, not ignoring it just to please people. I feel like we're surrounding myself with good people. The energy you're around is more important than them or anything. I feel like just being really picky Like, and I feel like in this stage of my life, I'm extremely picky about who I let in my life, because like I know who I did the work. I know who I am, but do you know who you are?
Right.
And then people who don't know who they are skeptical to do some shit that they don't usually do.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Or out of their character that they want to be, but not necessarily there yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make decisions that are out of insecurity or out of just lack of character development. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad person. That just means they haven't reached that level of frequency that you're on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't want someone else to diminish the work that you've done on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And people are capable of doing that if you let them.
Yeah.
So it's like, you just gotta be, it's really just surrounding myself around good people and just making sure that, I keep a physical outlet, you know what I'm saying? And I write to my loved ones in heaven. I think that keeps me grounded. And still remain in that, keep that connection, you know, just because energy doesn't die. I feel like, that's really much it. Like just being aware of my energy and being aware of what I'm around, and being aware of what I say, not just to others, but to myself.
Yeah.
And just not forgetting to just like stay in touch with my inner child. I think that's key. It's like being a kid.
Yeah.
Do things that, make you happy.
Yeah.
Like dance. Have fun. Like I'll blast the fucking music. I want nobody being like I would just go back to when, you know what I'm saying, where there's no care in the world.
Just being yourself. I feel like in this society, like when people started videotaping everything, it's like people can't catch a vibe anymore because somebody on the internet's gonna call them weird.
Exactly,
like,
bro. And I just feel like keeping that inner child and just staying pure and just being able to be in the moment and be present.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what really like nourishes my soul. Just those small moments.
Yeah. It's really interesting you say that, because, I didn't expect you to say anything about your inner child, but I need you to look at Baby Slim.
Yo, man.
And tell me what you would say to child. I said baby. How old were you in this picture?
I think I was like 7.
7, okay. So, just so everybody can kind of see, what would you say to 7-year-old Slim? And look at her when you talk about it, not me.
Everything is gonna be okay. Everything is happening for a reason. You are greater than anything you've been through and anything you're gonna go through. And as long as you keep God first, you'll be fine. I think those words, she'll have a great life.
You gotta tell her she's gonna be the flyest motherfucker.
Oh, and also you're gonna be the flyest nigga no matter where you go. It don't matter if you state hopping, country hopping, you put that shit on, okay?
Period. Well, yes, it's been a pleasure. I thank you very graciously for being my cover star. It's always a pleasure. Yes, you're somebody I look up to in many ways.
It's so crazy because I say the same shit about you.
Bro, I say this about...
I deadass say the same. I said, yo, I literally brag on you like, no, deadass, bro. Like, I remember, I forgot who I was having a conversation with. And then I was starting like, yeah, like my dog, like, she got a magazine. And I'm like, also, she's an artist. Also, I'm like, you know what? She can do fucking anything. Like, I was like, she damn near can just do anything, my nigga. Like, if I keep rambling about all the shit she can do, man, we gonna be here for a minute.
It's ADHD.
Like,
I can't keep one interest.
Like, shit.
But no, I've been lately, I've said that to a few people lately, and I feel like I've just I felt called lately to really tell the people that I've told that to that now. I don't know why, but I just do. Like, there's a lot of people that I really look up to and I really value in my life.
I think this is the dopest thing ever. I'm gonna keep it real. I think this is the dopest thing ever. Just off the strength of like, there's not enough highlighted moments on people of our everyday life. Facts. That we look at as celebrities that I put so much, that made us who we are. Half of something, like there's just each of one of my friends are a part of my heart.
Yeah,
They're a part of who I am. Some of my lingo comes from them. Somehow, you know what I'm saying? Like, I took a part of each one of y'all, and y'all make me who I am. Y'all are celebrities in my eyes.
I swear.
So it's like, you highlighting that, I think it's the dopest thing in the world.
I appreciate you. Yeah, for real. I actually, that's been a topic that's been on my mind lately too. Is just like the different relationships you have with people throughout your life, whether it's professional, romantic, platonic, familial, whatever. Just the idea of you taking at least one thing from every experience you have with every person is actually influencing some of the art that I'm making. But I love that like idea right now. I'm like really interested in that idea right now. So I'm just trying to like take time to really recognize those people and tell people how I'm trying to do better at telling people how I feel about them, because I didn't really come from a family that was very expressive and affirming with words and stuff. But yeah, no, I wanted to give you your flowers. I wanted to tell you that, you're somebody I look up to, a friendship I deeply value. I never would have thought it when you were throwing bows in basketball in high school. Because I was like, I hate this bitch. She plays too hard and I'm not good enough. But yeah, no, I love you, dog. And,
I love you, bro.
I can't believe it's my first time in Atlanta. We landed in Boogie's like, oh, it's your first time in Atlanta? I was like, yeah. Mind you, we traveled together. She's like, well, welcome to the A. I was like, you feel me? Don't be like you're the Atlanta Authority. But yeah,
ass, bro.
That's it. That's all. This is Soul Food with Slim. Period. She played Drake on the outro. That's crazy.